Welcome to another episode of The Profile. I'm Gary Dunn, I'm your host, and in the comfy chair tonight is Mr. Steve Tallis.
Hi Gary, how you going?
Yeah, I'm well. Steve, yourself?
Thanks.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
A lot to get through. You've got a massive history, and I'm sure you're very proud of it.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. It's just my life, so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I'm still alive, so.
Yeah. So, Steve, where were you born?
I was born in Maylands, actually in Mount Lawley, but I lived the first 20 years in Central Avenue, Maylands.
Yep.
Yeah, I was very happy there.
Yep. And what instruments do you play, apart from guitar? I know you're a guitar
Oh,
player.
I'm a singer, and I play a bit of percussion.
Yep.
I used to play harp and that in the 60s, but I stopped, you know.
And what was the first time in your life, or the turning point you realised you were going to do this?
When I saw Louis Armstrong and Trini Lopez, my parents took me to see Louis Armstrong at the Capitol Theatre,
Wow.
63.
Wow.
And I walked out of there and just said to my mum, that's what I want to do,
Yep.
basically.
And your first band, Bruno's Double, Bruno Pizzata.
Well, I'd already been playing before that concert because I went to school with Bruno.
Yep.
Bruno at Maylands Primary School.
Yep.
And we were good friends, and we'd just go to his place along the railway there, Watley Crescent, I think.
Yep.
And just he'd just be drumming all the time, and I just started singing. We just started doing old people's homes and the school and things like that for fun. And then we got other people in from school, and then developed from there.
Yep. So you went on to.
But that was the turning point, really.
Yep.
Louis Armstrong. Yeah.
He was obviously your biggest influence as well.
Well, I mean, I was a big fan, but I was quite small. But at the time, I was only 11. But just to see, I think it was the first real live concert apart from Macedonian and Greek picnics and stuff, which I always went to as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it's my ancestry. But a concert as such would have been that concert. So it was a profound thing for me.
Yeah. So you started playing live at 11 or 12 years of age?
Yeah, I mean, after that I went to the Capitol Theatre. Every show I went to the Capitol Theatre.
Right.
I saw every touring act and every national act playing there.
Yeah.
That was one of my dreams, to play there, but now it's a car park or whatever.
You didn't end up gigging there?
No, it was, I think it got knocked over quite early.
Yeah.
I don't think it lasted that long.
We've knocked most things over in Perth, haven't we?
Unfortunately, yeah. But it was an incredible venue.
Yeah, yeah. So your brother Vic, what did he play?
Drums.
Drums, yeah. And 1965 you were playing rhythm blues covers with him, or?
Yeah, Broken Things is when we really started hitting it. And that's actually named after the B-side of a Billy Thorpe single, Sick and Tired.
Ah, Broken
Just
Things.
like the name,
Yes.
And we just started playing, the usual Stones, Kinks,
Yeah.
all the R&B stuff at the time. And then I started delving into the real blues
Yeah.
sort of thing,
I got
It's
a
like many people,
Yes, I got a list of plenty of bands. Tampa Red with Al Cash and JellyRoll Bakers.
JellyRoll Bakers, yeah.
My Grandfather's Blues with Peter Walker. Well, Broken Things we just talked about. So JellyRoll Bakers, that was with Peter Walker. How was that? Because you recorded an EP.
Well, yeah, we
with that,
did an
didn't
EP at 6PR in Hay Street, East Perth. Gaslight Club, because we were doing a residency there. They paid for it. It was like a promo thing.
Yeah.
But it was the first real recording, actually. So we have a double live album at the Gaslight Club.
Yeah.
But the EP was done like really professionally, sort of thing,
So you're still doing that now every Wednesday night, aren't you?
Well, it's not obviously just using the name, as a respect thing from the club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a club I run in Freo on Wednesday nights, at the Fly By Night.
So what was it? Was it called a different name in those days, or?
What's that? The Gaslight Club?
Yeah.
Well, it was called the Gaslight Club, but it's not the same club, obviously.
Right.
That closed. Alistair Norwood used to own it.
All right.
And he closed it, became a Jeans West, I think, or something like that, down there in Sherwood Court.
He owned Jeans West, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sort of like a boutique and then moved into Jeans West.
Yeah. So Grandfather's Blues, starting to play more blues rock, 1967.
Yeah.
What?
And then, after my Grandfather's Blues going into JellyRoll Bakers, it was more sort of black blues, really Sonny Boy Williamson, Howling Wolf, Muddy Waters, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So you used to get your albums in those days?
I used to get them from Melbourne at first. I used to deal with a shop in Melbourne for a long time, and then I used to get stuff from Musgroves and Western Electro Sound, I think they were called, and a few other places.
You
around.
had something to do with 78 Records at one time, didn't you? As well?
Yeah, I was an owner from 75 to 79.
Yeah.
But
That
I
was in
used to
Hay
get-
Street, wasn't it?
I was in Hay Street when I was
Yeah.
one of the owners, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
They
used to go
opened
in
up in
there.
Forest Place at the time.
Yeah.
But I used to get my stuff from a shop in Melbourne originally,
Yeah.
because I couldn't find what I was after here.
Yeah.
You know, after I heard the first Stones album and things like that, I was looking for Little Walter and Howling Wolf and Muddy Waters, all these people. I couldn't find, nobody even heard of them here.
Mm.
And I found a shop in Melbourne that I used to get it off, and then I started importing it from there, and then some of it started appearing here. You know,
So-
Musgrave started having a lot of old blues, folkways, recordings and things like that.
So I was working in Musgraves in 75, and I used to walk up the street to 78s because Musgraves had nowhere near
Yeah.
as much diversity as 78
Oh
Records
no,
had.
it's a good shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the most unique shops I've seen in the world, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Not,
Everything.
not
in
because I was an owner, because it was actually a really unique shop, I think. Yeah.
Well, you were the first people that had headphones and you could go in booths.
Yeah,
and-
it was sort of hippie-ish, I guess, but it was really just a relaxed place, and the focus was on the music. The focus was on the music we had in the shop. You
Yeah.
know? We had a lot of vinyl, so
Yeah.
it was pre-CD. So.
So you've written like massive amount of songs and
I've written
massive amount of albums and
Yeah, I've written about 430 songs, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
yeah. Well,
I,
you
mean, I
started.
wouldn't remember them, but
Yeah,
I think at Sammy I got registered with
yeah,
ACRA.
yeah. So that started in 1969,
69,
I think. You started playing guitar in the King Biscuit Company, and
Yep.
at the same time you started writing your own songs.
Yeah, well, once I decided I wanted to be a writer, I mean, the main band that influenced me as a writer, Australian band, was the Easy Beats. They're the first band that made me think, as an Australian, I could be a songwriter. I mean, it took a few years, but I had to play guitar to write songs, so
Yeah.
I wanted to play guitar anyway. I wasn't really happy with people I was working with at the
Yeah.
time. I didn't think they were sort of strong enough rhythm players, and rhythm interests me. So I'm not a lead guitarist. So I
Yeah.
only play rhythm now. I only play rhythm. So
It's-
rhythm is what interests me, you know. So
It's just as an important cog in,
Yeah.
you know.
I just love playing rhythm, you know. So,
Yeah.
and I thought I could do just as good a job as who was in the bands
Yeah.
at the time,
Yeah.
and you know, it just seemed ridiculous to have someone that couldn't
Yeah.
play, you know.
And then.
But it was really for writing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And those 3-chord songs, did you write many of them?
Oh, I write a lot of one-chord songs, actually. I don't want to complicate it.
Relax, don't do it.
Oh, I do a lot of one-chord songs.
Yes.
I don't think about it. Some have got more than one.
Yeah,
I just write.
they are
so
what they are.
I just write. Yeah, I don't think about it.
Yeah. And do you write mainly about your experiences?
Everything's about my life. So whether it's love or it's politics or religion or whatever, you know, everything is very personal for me.
Yeah, cool. G Troop, 1971, with Ron Parker and Dennis James.
Where I turned alcoholic.
Did you?
Yeah, that's where I became an alcoholic.
With
But
Dennis?
it was a great honour to when
Mate,
they asked me to play, you know,
Yeah.
because I'd looked up to Ron and Dennis and
Yes.
that around town. We were friends, you know, but I'd never played with them. But when they asked me to play, I thought, great, you know, these guys are great. But I just played rhythm guitar
And drank?
and drank and sang harmonies because Terry Adderton was
Oh, right.
such a great singer, you know. I don't think I even sang one song, but yeah, it was just a good time band, really. We had a good time, you know.
Yeah. Fried Egg. That was with Rick Whittle and
Well, that was
Royston
just
McDaniel.
lots and lots of different people.
Yeah.
That's where I went solo in '74 because I wanted to play with different people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play with one band anymore.
Yeah.
I'd had enough of all that. I felt too restricted, so I wanted to use lots of different people, and that's what I've been doing since '75.
Well, I've got this little book here, which I think goes with your box set
Yeah.
that you brought in with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to.
Yeah.
Can people buy these?
Oh, not really. I mean, I get asked about it a bit, but I haven't got the money to really repress it, you know. It's
Steve
very
Tallis.
expensive.
Anthology, Volume 1, The Sacred Path of the Fried Egg, Maylands to Gates of Hell, 1962 to 2001. and we've got this book to go with it, and I just can't
I
believe.
might do a reprint. I don't know, but it's
believe-
just so expensive, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe how many names are in here. You know,
Well, I've played with a lot of people because
you know, John Hood, Jay Tattersall, Alan Ross.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you
Ken
know-
Harwood, just Terry Adderton, Ron Parker, Les Hinton, Mick Glendinning. You know, it just goes on and on and on and on
well,
and on. Bob Fortescue.
You know, I mean, the box set is also a history of all the people that worked with me,
Yeah,
their period of working with me. The booklet is basically is about stories from the musicians that worked with me. It's not me
Yeah.
talking much. They're just talking about what it's like to work
Yeah.
with me, you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't rehearse, you see. So
yeah. You just get up and jam.
my
if you
music
like.
is very improvised.
Yeah.
I don't rehearse. I don't have a permanent band, so I just put band lines together.
Yeah.
Same everywhere in Paris and
Yeah. John Meyer.
around the world. Actually.
John Meyer and Phil Bailey and Greg Schultz and Brendan Darby and
Yeah, just you know, I was always looking for people. I'm still always looking for new people to work with because I like to keep fresh, you know.
I'd let my producer Al know that because you probably need a drummer that can play 2/4 and
Yeah, he was
all that
telling
sort of
me
stuff.
actually. Yeah.
He can. He lifts the house off with his 2/4 stuff.
Yeah, he's got better shoes than you, mate.
They call the band usually in the Magnificent Seven, but it should be the Magnificent One.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I know that band.
Yes. So Lucy Crown was the first original band.
That was a we were well almost all original. I think a couple of J. Giles songs and a couple of blues, but it was almost all.
Did John
original.
Meyer write some songs for that as well? No.
It was all my songs.
Yeah, because he became a writer later.
A couple of Ivan Czar songs, I think.
Yeah.
But it was mainly mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of songs written at that time, so that I wasn't doing. So
Yes.
I really needed to start playing my songs. You know.
Yeah. And folks, you're going to hear a lot of different bands. There was a band called Bitch in 1973.
That was a very popular
Someone
band.
suggested it was about your girlfriend
No,
at the
no,
time.
no. It's Rolling Stones on your sticky fingers.
Okay.
We used to have a van.
Great album.
We used to have a van with a painting of this woman copied off a Miles Davis album.
All right.
Used to get a lot of.
That was the Bitch.
Well, it was just a logo or something that we used, and we stole it off a Miles Davis album.
You'd
And
probably get in trouble doing something like that.
But,
these
yeah.
days.
Well, we used to get in a lot of trouble with the cops at the time for other reasons. But,
Oh, I've got that bit in here somewhere. I don't know whether we'll talk about that. No. So you went to Paris. You travel a lot. You went to Paris and London for 4 or 5 months for inspiration. What?
oh, just
Were you sick of what was going on?
no,
here,
no,
or-
just no. Someone invited me there for
Yep.
a while, you know, and I needed a break from Perth. I'd never been away.
Yep.
I'd been over east, but I'd never been outside of Australia, and it was the perfect opportunity for me to go away and just think about what exactly I wanted to do.
Yep.
Because I decided to go solo, but I hadn't actually, you know, constructed all my philosophies and concepts clearly.
Yeah.
But I did that basically when I was away.
So solo acoustic guitar.
No, I mean solo as a musician without a band,
Oh,
without
okay.
a permanent band. When I say solo, and yeah, I did start working solo as well. You know, just acoustic guitar. And
So you did that in Paris?
I played a little bit, not much. A bit in London. No, that was more of just a break.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing for a long time, like, and we were playing 7 nights a week. You know, but you know, I've just been playing a long time, like, in groups.
Yeah.
I just needed a break. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I got tired of all the egos and all the
Yeah.
bullshit. You know.
Did you ever do anything else? Any other jobs throughout your
In my life, oh yeah, I've done retail, apart from 78's, Monkey Music, distribution, exporting, lecturing at the con, TAFE.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work with kids.
You still lecturing at TAFE?
No. And no, I like it, I really enjoy it. I did a lot of work with kids and handicapped people and homeless people, and started a radio show on UES-FM in the 80s called Spoonful of Blues, which is still going. I started that in the mid-80s. And I've done publishing, management, touring. I did a lot of tours, international tours and national tours, into Perth, I mean.
Yeah.
And
I've got
just,
one you-
yeah, just, I mean, I just, well, like I was saying to Alan earlier, when I was young, I decided I wanted to be a musician for the rest of my life, so I wanted to understand how the business worked.
Yeah.
So I deliberately did a lot of things because I wanted to find out, even if I made mistakes, I wanted to find out how the industry worked, you know?
Yeah.
Because I took it very seriously.
Yeah.
And I basically did everything. So, you know, it was a conscious decision to try and do everything, to find out how it worked, you know.
So at that point in time when you were inquisitive to find out how it's going to work and what it's all about, were your visions then, or your trust of the industry?
It just made me more cynical.
Yes.
But it also made me more aware,
Yeah.
and it made me more knowledgeable about how it worked, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had hit records or anything, so I wouldn't know what that's like, but I just wanted to survive, you know, and I wanted to survive playing my music, so which is not easy these days. I mean, it's very difficult at the moment, you know, to get enough work to live, you know, really. I mean, I survive because I lead a very simple life, but it's not easy these days to, you know, you can't, there's no such thing as working 7 days, not playing original music anyway. You know?
Are you sure?
Unless you play for free.
Yeah. Just a bit earlier on, obviously you're drinking some fenugreek tea there. Our producer's fallen asleep. Are you sure you gave him a fenugreek tea bag, or is it something else?
No, he's gonna.
It's rough, he said.
I drink a lot of herbs. I use a lot of herbs.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm very healthy,
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could say the same thing.
No, I'm
Steve.
healthy.
You actually digressed a little bit in '82. You did Sensational 60s.
Well,
Dave Warner and...
Dave Warner, Dave asked me if I could, I don't know whether, because I only did 1 or 2 shows. I think one was at the Charles and one was somewhere else. I only did 2 shows, I think.
It's probably the
doing the
Herdsman,
Rolling Stones, or maybe it's the Herdsman, yeah. Just doing Rolling Stones songs. So
you were like the Mick Jagger
or whatever. Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, they knew I knew the music, so I don't think we rehearsed. I don't remember rehearsing.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was in the band actually.
Yeah, so you travel a lot. That's your next passion is France, India, Pakistan, New York, Mexico.
Yeah, I've travelled all over. Yeah, I've travelled a lot.
Have you played in all those places as well?
Yeah, festivals and I've toured all those places and all over Europe.
What would be your favourite place that you've played?
Paris.
Paris.
I love Paris. It's my second home.
When I first talked to you on email, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, you were in Paris. So.
Yeah, I've been living there off and on for 9 years, but my daughter had a baby, so it was time to come back for a while.
Yeah. Grandfather.
Yeah.
Grandfather or pops?
Papou, as they say in France.
Wow, that's
or Dedo in Macedonian.
Are you Macedonian?
Yeah, my family is Macedonian. Yeah. I've got a Greek passport.
It's all a bit,
no, it's true.
It's all a bit funny around that
story.
area,
it's a very strange story.
Please tell me. Please.
Oh, no, it's very long.
It's very long.
Long story.
I've got another minute or two.
Oh.
Okay, so what's your favourite band of all time or artist?
Oh, it would have to be, Bob Dylan and the Stones, I think. You know, with Beatles pretty close, but very difficult. Really, because people like Leadbelly and Tom Waits and Captain Beefheart and all these people, John Coltrane, all these people are really big parts of my life. So, but I would have to say Dylan and the Stones, I think, really.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And
if I had to.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to.
No. Well, I suppose those two are the biggest influences because they both changed my life. I mean, the Stones. When they came out. I was always a very curious child, so when I saw names on records, I couldn't work out why the name on the record wasn't the same as the artist.
Yeah.
So I always was very interested in the songwriter.
Yeah.
That's what made me very interested in being a songwriter.
The money makers.
Well, not so much the money makers, just who are these people writing these songs, So it's not, I wanted to know their versions, so I hunted versions, like I hunted out those artists. So
yeah, and I think some of the questions I ask might seem strange, but
nothing's strange to me.
But that's why I asked that because your passion is the people who influenced you and changed your life in some way.
Well, I'd like to think that I think music is a powerful force. So it doesn't matter whether it's originals or people just playing music for fun or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing. It's healed me. It makes people happy. you know, and things like that. So I mean, you know, music is. Well, I think we're very lucky to have music, you know.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's a bit devalued these days, I think, compared to what it was 20 years ago, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally...
Especially as a profession. But,
yeah, I totally agree with
but
you.
I think people take music for granted now. It's, you know, it's just so available, you know.
I mean, even like what we do now in duos and we play other people's music, it's still, you still want to play. You still want to go to the pub and play.
I don't, you know, I'm not really one of those musicians that criticise people playing covers or... You know, I just think, you know, it's too much sort of eliteness about elitist sort of attitudes that, you know, if you're an original band, you're better, which is complete nonsense, you know. I mean, I just like hearing music. So, I mean, I do other people's songs because I like them. And for me, they're, I don't try to copy them, but they're a thread to what I'm writing and performing. So it's, for me, it's a thread.
Yeah.
So it's all relative to what I'm writing. Everything connects. Might not be obvious to everybody, but for me, it's very obvious. You know, if I do a Drifters song or Stones or whatever, I know what that song has done to me or that artist has done for me to write a certain song of mine. So it's all a thread for me.
And the beauty, I suppose, is for the audience and someone in the audience is that they see the end product. They don't know all of that.
Yeah, well, live music. I mean, music to me is about playing live. You know. Yeah. It's for me. It's about the sharing with the audience. It's not about sitting in your lounge room telling yourself how good you are. I mean, it's about, you know, music is a sharing thing. Yeah,
I've always agreed with that.
And, you know, I don't understand people that, I know people that say they're too good, so they don't play out anywhere, they just play in their lounge room because they reckon they're too good, which is complete nonsense, you know.
It's rubbish.
I mean, music's to be shared. It's to be shared.
And the whole thing about being on stage as well, of interacting
of course.
And seeing people happy.
Of course.
And getting
dancing
off on,
I mean, you know.
No matter what.
No, I mean, for me, it's, you know, if I had the choice between playing live and recording, I'd just take playing live. Yeah. You know, I mean, I love recording, but I get bored easy, but I mean, I just record one take, so I don't take a long time. Yeah. But playing live is what interests me, you know.
Yeah, same. Look, I've been anxious for a week. I've got to go and do some recording on Wednesday night with a bunch of guys, and sort of put you on the spot a bit. But,
what, session guy or something? Oh, that's right. Got your invoice book ready? Or?
These guys don't pay.
No, that's unusual.
You get no money. Just do it for love.
Yeah.
You know, because I love it. So just like yourself. So.
Oh no, I pay my musicians when they record because when I'm solo, I pay the musicians a fee.
I don't want to mention any names. Yeah. You know, my producer. No.
Not them again.
Them again. Can you just do this? Can you come and do that? You know. So.
You need new thongs, mate.
Yes, I do. Actually, but I'll get round to that. Maybe I'll get some for a Christmas present or something one day. So, what's the best Perth band you saw live? I know you've obviously played.
My favourite band from the '60s was Whitehouse and the Offbeats.
All right.
I saw them many, many times.
Yeah.
And they would have to have been my favourite band, but I liked a lot of bands, you know. So us and the Little Wheels. And
it's hard asking questions where.
Well, Whitehouse and the Offbeats would have been my favourite band from the '60s, you know.
Someone mentioned them on a show.
Fantastic band, incredible band.
Yeah. Where'd they play mostly?
Northside Lounge, Capitol Theatre. I saw them a few times on a Sunday afternoon. Incredible band.
Capitol
Great
Theatre,
musicians, you know.
Yeah. I heard Peter Williams was mentioning all about the Capitol and
it's an incredible venue.
Yeah.
It's magic.
You always wanted to play there and.
Oh, it was one of my dreams to play there because I went to every tour. I went every international and national tour. I went there. So.
Yeah.
Saw hundreds of acts, you know, Kinks, Manfred Mann, Stones, everybody, Dylan, you know.
Yeah.
Dylan, Roy Orbison.
Yeah. Brilliant. Roy Orbison live, wasn't he?
I've seen him 3 times, actually.
Yeah.
One of my favourite songwriters.
The Capitol has been mentioned a lot.
William Street, down the bottom towards the Esplanade.
Yeah, don't look at the screen. The Capitol.
What screen?
The Capitol has been mentioned a lot. Where was it located? Question mark.
No, it's William Street down towards the Esplanade there.
I knew that, but
You did.
obviously these guys didn't. Or he
There's
didn't.
some amazing photos on Facebook on a
Yes.
page called Lost Perth, I think it is.
Yep.
It has photos of the capital, which I'd never seen before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, if you were deserted on
On a deserted island.
on a
Alan.
deserted island, you were very
Gary.
deserted on a deserted island. What album will you take with you, Steve?
Well, it'd be very difficult, but I think if I took one, it'd have to be A Love Supreme by John Coltrane.
Wow,
Yes.
first time I've had that album, but fantastic. You know, favorite TV show growing up?
The
Did you watch TV?
Honeymooners.
Huh?
Honeymooners with
Honeymooners,
Jackie Gleason,
yes.
I think, would have been my favourite.
Yeah.
I reckon it was, yeah.
What was the famous line he had?
Bang, zoom,
Yeah.
Alice, you know. I've been watching some on YouTube because there's some really, really good quality
Yeah.
episodes on YouTube, like
Yeah.
really incredibly clear. You know?
YouTube's amazing, isn't it?
I like that
So
old
much.
stuff to be able to look at it again, like especially such good quality, you know.
Well, they've obviously
Three
remastered
Stooges
it.
and all that, you know, shit, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So what does the future hold for you, Steve?
Just more recording, more touring, more songs, basically.
Yeah. So just keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing, inviting all these musicians you play
Yeah, I
with.
mean, I did in the last 2 weeks. I had lineups that I've never even met before on stage. That's the way, because I don't rehearse, so
Yeah.
I just put lineups together.
I was looking at some of these names and that Jamie Olas.
Well, that's going back to 2001
yeah,
through
and
the box. So.
Scott Wise and Jenny Anderson.
Yeah, Jenny Anderson, yeah.
You know, I
Great
did
musician,
a
yeah.
thing with her at Gobbles. She came over and we had a weekend with
Yeah,
her.
she's a
and,
really good musician.
yeah, Graham Wood, you know, God bless him. And yeah, just a massive amount of people.
Well, you know, it's I don't believe in mistakes, you see, so nobody can make a mistake with me.
Yeah.
So my philosophy is to experiment in the music. So I play new songs on stage that the guys have never heard, but they know my body language and they know what I'm like, so they watch me.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, a lot of my songs aren't that complex, really.
Yeah.
Some maybe, but not really. Quite simple.
I've got a thing written here called Voodoo. Can you talk to me about that or what?
Oh, it's just you know, I've been interested in and I've been practicing it for about 30 years, 35 years, but it's just part of my interest in Buddhism, Hinduism, Sufism, Islam, Christianity, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
It's just part of the whole picture, you know. It's
Is-
not
well-
no any more important, but, you know, a lot of it is from the music that I love too, you know, from New Orleans, and I got a lot of music from Haiti and Brazil, Cuba and all that, which is all voodoo related, or back to Africa, you know.
So, excuse my ignorance, voodoo is a religion, like, or is it a way of life, or is
Well, I suppose
which
you
is
could call it
religion, or-
religion, I suppose, yeah. But I mean, in Haiti, everybody follows voodoo, but they're also Catholic.
yeah,
You know, there's a lot of threads there.
yeah,
But it's you know, it's from Africa, and for me, it's just. I got into it really because of the music I was listening to. You know, field hollers and slave songs and all that in the South of America, particularly. It was all directly related to slavery trade. So, you know, that's when I really got back into African stuff, and when I searched back, you know. And I heard musicians that were just identical to John Lee Hooker and identical to Lead Belly, and you know, I heard melodies from Senegal that were identical to Lead Belly's songs and
Wow.
things like this. I mean, I don't think it's a conscious thing.
Sure.
It's just an evolvement of.
Yeah.
So that's why I got into that, because they all practiced voodoo, and you know, and I love music from New Orleans and stuff like that. So it was just something that just evolved, really.
So the sensationaliser's obviously not.
It's
the-
not. I mean,
the-
you know,
the-
everyone
sticking
thinks that as soon as you say the word, you know, it's
Voodoo,
it's
it's-
Hollywood B-grade movies, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's much more sacred than
Sure.
that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Bit
mean,
of respect.
I don't. I rarely talk about it, really. You know?
Yeah.
But no. I mean, I believe in it. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
just
you know,
have-
I believe in it as much as I believe in anything else.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not one religion. I'm a mix of the essence of all religions
Yeah.
and philosophies that I've read about and experienced.
Yeah.
you know. You know, I've lived in Muslim areas and stuff in Paris, so things like that. So,
and what's your experience with that?
fantastic.
It's no different. Yeah.
Less problems than here for me.
Yeah.
I've never had any problems in Paris.
Yeah.
I've never had any problems anywhere around the world, except maybe in Holland once. But you know, occasionally get problems here, mainly because of my dress, really.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank
Steve.
you. Mainly because of my clothes, but, you know, because people don't think a man should dress like this, really. But in Paris, nobody cares. So.
Mate,
I'm quite conservative tonight, actually.
yeah, I was going to wear my Snoopy pyjamas in tonight, but...
I like your tie.
Yeah, thank you. All supplied by Vinnie's and
Really?
Salvos.
Your sponsors?
$2
Yeah,
ties.
me too, my whole wardrobe.
So, what unfulfilled ambitions, do you have any unfulfilled ambitions in your life? There's something you want to do that you've thought about? Or?
Well, I'd like to do a volume 2 of the box set,
Mm.
bring it up to date, like to now, like the last 16 years. But there's still unreleased stuff from the 60s that I never put on that
Wow.
box, so there's still things missing, which I would put on the new one. So I'll do
Is
that.
that something you would remaster before you did that? Or?
Oh, yeah, I do remaster. Yeah, but I've remastered a lot of it already when I was doing that.
Yeah.
And also, in the last 15 years or whatever, it's, you know, a lot of the recordings I've got are digital, so the quality's a lot better than stuff I had in the 70s,
Sure.
which was on cassette.
Yeah.
So it's all digital now. So it's already halfway there.
Yeah.
But I'll do that, and I'll do another new album next year, and just tour really. Just,
You got a lot. You got a lot here.
Well, that's just some of the CDs, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I got singles and cassettes and.
So where
then I
do you
bring wood.
buy this stuff, Steve? What do you want to?
Off my website, really.
What's the website?
www.stevetallis.com. I mean, I think Dada's got a few things. I think Dada's got a few things there. Maybe 78s. I don't think 78s anymore. But Record Junction in Freo's got a few things. I sell mainly at gigs, you know.
Yeah.
I got tired of not being paid by shops, you know.
Yeah.
And I did distribution and retail and all that sort of thing, you know. So I know what to do.
Yeah.
So usually when I release an album, I'll put it in a couple of shops in Melbourne, like Basement Discs, always pay me, you know, and things like, you know, I've always got a couple of shops, so I just put it in, and it's easy to deal with them. They pay me. I never have any problems. Rather than putting it through a distributor and never getting paid, you know, the last distributor I had lost 500 of my CDs, so you know, it's a lot of CDs to lose, you know. So, and I mean, what could I do, you know? I could take them to court, but I'm not a big fan of lawyers, so I know what to do, you know. I prefer to do it myself. I mean, I had a record company in France for a while, and they ripped me off too, so I prefer to be independent. I know how it works, so my thing is to get gigs, because if I get, the more gigs I get, the more CDs I sell. Where I sell them is at gigs.
At gigs, yeah.
That's where I sell them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the immediacy of someone seeing you live and wanting your music.
Yeah.
So it's all about gigs for me. It's all about playing. You know, I mean, the days of working 7 nights a week are finished. You can't do that. No. But you know, I would work 7 nights if I could get it. But I mean, you can't get that now.
No.
You know, I'm happy. You know, if I get 2 or 3, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm happy if I get 1.
Well, you know, I have a very simple life, so I don't need a lot of money to live. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not a social sort of. I'm very private, so I don't really have a very expensive lifestyle.
So do you collect anything then? Or?
Only my history, scrapbooks.
Yeah. I
don't collect music. I just play music.
There's a lot
I
of
don't collect guitars. I play guitars.
Yeah.
No, it's just really my scrapbooks. Up to 79, everything is documented exactly in books. After 79, when I started travelling more, I kept the clippings, but now I got boxes like the 1980s, the 1990s. Now I've got boxes.
Cassettes and.
No, I mean newspaper clippings, posters,
yeah.
and articles and stuff.
Yeah.
I keep all that. So I've got all them. They're all there. I mean, it'd be a lot of work to go through them chronologically, but they're all there. I collect them.
Will you do that one day? And
yeah, that would be one thing I would definitely do. I'll probably give it to the
unfulfilled ambition.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Yeah.
You know, and give it to the museum or something. I don't know. Hopefully they would. Oh, that's another thing I did for a lot before when you were asking me about it. I did a lot of consultancy work with the library board for local music.
Yeah.
Like I supplied them with local music for 20 years. It took me 2 years to convince them that their role in our society was to preserve music from WA.
Yeah.
So I supplied them with music for about 20 years, and then they had budget cuts. I think they just stopped. And I think they might have even, I heard that they sold it, the local stuff, which is a disgrace, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to document.
Well, you know, I can't believe that a state library would sell off stuff. I mean, you know, they literally had thousands of things. When I closed my shop, Monkey Music, I gave them a box of I gave them my personal collection because I collected every local thing, no matter what it was, for years, no matter what music, no matter what format. I had everything.
Yeah.
Because we used to sell everything in the shop. But I gave that all to the library, so to think that they might have sold it all is very very worrying to me. I mean, it's completely against what I think of the library as something that should be preserving things, you know, not selling off or reducing. I mean, I don't even believe, you know, since I stopped doing it, there's been an avalanche of local music. So, you know, must be so far behind on the local music. It's just unbelievable. You know, but I used to. They used to ask me to search for hard to get things like rare things, singles, and so I used to go around to all the record shops, second-hand shops, you know, looking in the crates and on my hands and knees looking through boxes, you know. And I reckon I found about 75% of them.
Wow.
And that stuff is...
Of WA musicians?
That stuff is, WA musicians, only WA.
Yeah.
If a musician from WA was on an album over East or overseas, we would include that as, you know, something, you know.
I think there's a lot of similarities in this and just the way you've chronologically done it all with what we're going to try and do with a website.
Well, you know, I'm a great believer in history, so, you know, I'm a great believer in my history, I'm a great believer in WA music history, and I'm a great believer in Australian history, music, and the world. You know, I believe in... That's why my life has been documented in my scrapbooks, you know, so
perfect.
That's why that stuff is so detailed, you know. You know, when musicians joined, when they left, everything is documented exactly to the day. I mean, I don't know why I did that, really, but I'm glad I did it, you know.
I love this bit on the front. Stephen Tallis is only 10.
Well, you know,
Got to look at this, Strawny, if you can, while he's sipping on his can of Coke and he's nearly falling asleep there. Are we doing something wrong, Strawny?
Well, I was actually a very passionate footballer.
Yeah. So you're a West Coast Eagles man? Oh,
no, in those days it was Mount Lawley, Inglewood, East Perth area. But I followed Perth. But no, I was a really passionate footballer. But after Louis Armstrong, I just decided to... That was one of my last games.
This was the weekend news, Saturday, August 24th, 1963.
That's the front cover.
Steve Tallis is only 10. He plays an under-14 football side, and that takes courage for a bloke his size. Knocks and bumps he takes without flinching. But today, after his team, Mount Lawley, lost the grand final to Bedford Park, praise was just too much. 1 point. He broke down and wept when East Perth official Slim Somerville made a spontaneous presentation of a football for a job so well done against tall odds.
Yeah, I remember it very well, actually.
Wow. That's you
there. Very overwhelmed.
Breaking down and
I was very overwhelmed that we lost.
Oh.
Not so much getting the football, just that we lost. You know?
1 point.
1 point it was.
That's a hard to take, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Perth supporters in
hard
1978 when East Perth won in the wet. That was 1 point. Huh? Yeah. I was there supporting East Perth.
Well, my family supported Perth for some reason, even though we lived in Maylands. I don't know, but I've never actually asked them why we supported Perth.
They probably won most of the premierships in those days. But
I think maybe there was a lot of Macedonians in Lathlane or something. I know we had a lot of cousins and relatives in Lathlane for some reason. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know why we followed Perth, and we followed Essendon, so because of the same colours. In those days.
Oh, well, we won't talk about that then. Steve, what would you put on your gravestone?
My conscience is clear. One of my songs.
That's good. Oh, wow.
Or shit stirrer, in brackets.
So is there anyone you would recommend for us to have
Ron
on the show?
Parker for sure.
Ron Parker?
Ron Parker, definitely.
Getting that one?
I think Ron Parker's essential.
Yeah.
And he's not very well, so
Oh, right, really?
he's quite sick, you know. I mean, Ron's one of my best friends, but
Wow.
he's also one of the greatest drummers I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
also, he's been around a long time, you know. I remember when I first saw him at the Gaslight, he was in a band called The Set. It was a Saturday afternoon, I think, or something. And then I used to see him at What the Heck and that, but we became really good friends. But I reckon Ron's really, he's got a good memory, and, you know, he's seen a lot, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he stopped playing because he was crook, so, you know, had
Yeah.
a few heart attacks and all that sort of thing. But I think Johnny Johnson, I reckon, is a
Johnny Johnson, yeah.
interesting guy too. Dave Clark's been around a long
Yeah.
time. These are people who work with me, you know, so.
Yeah.
But also they were around in the 60s,
Yeah.
around the same time, you know.
I appreciate that, and we'll get
Yeah.
our
I
producers.
mean, there's probably more too, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose Peter Walker would be interesting
Yeah.
to
Look,
talk to.
We've got 300 names.
Well, you know,
and,
you can go forever, really.
and we're only doing sort of one a week. It's
Yeah.
we've
Yeah, I
probably,
mean, there's a lot of
probably got the
people
next
around.
10 years
Yeah.
wrapped up.
Yeah, I think Ron's good, but because Ron's was there. Well, for me, I presume you've done Russ Kennedy.
No, we haven't interviewed Russ Kennedy yet. He's on the list.
Oh, you should do Russ.
Yeah.
I keep in touch with him on Facebook. But I think Ron's, you know, Ron's about 5 years older than me, so you know, he's around. You know, he's seen a lot, you know, and
Well,
he's
he's
played
only-
with a lot of different people.
He's only 45.
Yeah, thanks. So,
Wow.
you know,
But he was a little bit older than that, Steve. So is there something that we don't know about you that you could share with us, or is that a rude question?
Oh, no, it's not rude. I'm a very private man, but probably that my birth name is Stavros.
Stavros?
Yeah, because I was baptised Greek Orthodox when I was born, and my parents changed the name for various reasons.
Stavros.
Stavros. I prefer that. My kids call me Stavros, and
Wow.
most of my close friends call me that. There's a few other things, you know, I suppose. I mean, I met Dylan, so that was a highlight of my life. So, and
Where did you meet Dylan?
or
Bob?
we opened for him at the entertainment centre,
Yeah.
and this guy came up to us and said, "Don't even ask to meet Bob Dylan. I've been working for him 20 years. He's never spoken to a support act." And I said, "Look, I don't care. I'm just happy to be here, you know." I just said, "I'm just honoured to be playing before Bob Dylan." So
Yeah.
I said, "No problem, you know." So we played, and I saw him at the side of the stage for about the last 10 minutes. And then the same guy come up and said, after we finished, he said, "Bob wants to meet you, you know." And I
Eat the
said,
humble pie.
and I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, I've never known him to meet anybody, support act before." He just said, "You know, do you want to meet?" I said, "Of course we want to meet him, you know, of course." So
Absolutely.
we went in there with the band. That was Johnny Johnson, Dave Clark and Colin Atkins.
Yeah.
That was my lineup at that time. So we went in to talk to him and invited us back to the hotel and that. He was with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very humble guy, just like us talking now. We're just
Yeah.
talking about music, actually.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience
Mm.
because I met a lot of international people because
Yeah.
I've played with a lot of people, but he would have to be the most humble, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's something we didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of. I mean, I've got you know, I follow certain lifestyles and stuff.
Yeah.
But really, about my name, I guess, is my name. Only people that know me know that. So.
Yeah. Well,
It's not a. I mean, I've got a Greek passport with that name. So.
well, I've got to say, don't forget to subscribe to the profile on YouTube. You know, please like our videos and
Yeah, I think it's a great thing what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
thank
reckon it's a
you.
great idea.
Yeah.
I've been watching them. I think it's fascinating.
thank you. We're hoping to get a website. We're hoping to get some funding.
Mm.
And
Well, you should really be able to get some funding because it's a pretty important thing what you're doing. You know?
yeah. Have
You know,
got
it's-
any suggestions on that front?
What's that?
Funding.
Well, Department of Culture and the
Yeah.
Arts, I would have thought.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Lottery West and all those healthways, maybe, I don't know. But I mean, Department of Culture and Arts give a lot of money to organisations and stuff that don't do anything. They pretend to do something, but they don't actually do anything, you know. They just pretend to do things, so they fill in their reports and get the money the next year. And so there's money out there. I mean, it's tightening up. The arts will always be one of the first things hit when there's budgetary, economic problems with governments, always. But they're still giving money out, so, I mean, you know, what you do, and also you're going in with a proven, you know, you're already doing it. It's not like you need the funding to do it.
Well, we do.
But you need it to broaden it and keep it going. So, I mean, you've already done a lot on your own, so that to me is a positive thing.
Well,
so.
it takes probably 20 or 30 hours a week to
it's a lot of work.
Produce this.
It's a lot of work.
And do all this,
Yeah, well, no, I can see it's a lot of work. I mean, Alan looks exhausted.
That's that stuff you put in his tea, whatever it was. Look, as Stavros takes his sip on his fenugreek tea, look, Stavros, so nice to have you here.
Thanks for the invitation.
I really appreciate you coming in and sharing, you know, your life.
No, it's good. It's good. I appreciate the invite.
And I hope you know, good luck to you in the future, and keep writing and keep playing and keep doing your thing.
My thing is just to stay healthy, you know. Yeah. So I mean, I've had some very sick times in my life in the 70s. So I'm really healthy now. So I'm good. I don't intend going anywhere, you know. Like look after myself.
Yeah.
Lead a very quiet life.
Yes, just like me.
Gary.
Very, very, very quiet.
Very quiet. No, I do really.
So do I.
Apart from playing and seeing my kids, and that, I don't really go out that much. Not really. I mean, I go to see music.
My wife's major complaint is I don't go out.
Oh, really?
So,
I don't have a wife, so I don't understand the problem, mate.
Okay, well, I can't do anything about that.
You could always go out with Alan.
Mate, if I go out with him...
That'd be big trouble.
Yes.
Can imagine.
Look, Stavros, thanks, mate.
Okay, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you a lot. Thanks
another episode of The Profile, another legend from the West Australian music scene. Thank you, folks.
The streets of New York City, hugging and kissing my wife, she's looking so pretty. I gotta go back one day to New York City. I gotta go back to that cold and windy city. Walking down the street, I want you to raise your hand for me one time. When you look into my eyes, I want you to understand. I gotta go back, 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 gotta go back. I gotta go back, 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 gotta go back. New York City, stand in my way. I got nothing to say to you. You don't understand. I got New York City blues. Down Mayland's way, that is. I knew a long time ago what I was gonna do. 1964, I was 12 years old. I went to my mama, I said, Mama, I know what I'm gonna do with my life. Well, she looked at me real strange and said, boy, you crazy. You gotta think about a real career. Stop hanging around places like What the Hit Discotheque, Dorina's Discotheque, Northside Lounge, Beach House, Snake Pit, the Capitol Theater, Embassy Ballroom, the Hole in the Wall, Latin Quarter, Whiskey Go-Go, Two Eyes, Whiskey Checkers, the Gaslight Club, a Troubadour Club, Whiz-Bomb, Maggie's Farm, Uncle Sam's, a Pump House, Stone Crew. I don't know. I'm gonna be in New York City, 1982, just singing the blues. Alright, walking around the streets in New York City, hugging and kissing my wife, she's looking so pretty. I can go back to New York City. Gotta go back. New York City, stand in my way. I don't understand. You don't understand. I got New York City blues. I got New York City blues. I got New York City blues. No matter what you say, no matter what you do.